Hello, listeners. Welcome to this installment of Favourite Fight, the series within the podcast of My Girlfriend Doesn't Like Robots. This episode is about episode 6 of Battlebots 2020, and I'm going to say it right now, I think, except for episode 1, this was the best episode we've had. Just completely. Every single fight was good. As good as every fight was good. Like, we had some great fights, like Malice Mad Cow. Like, you could not have predicted that to happen. That was bleeding brilliant. Gigabyte versus Extinguisher was brilliant. I'm very happy to see Gigabyte get a win because I really like them. I like full body spinners area. Aside from the Shredder Ray, they're about all we've got at the minute. And I don't really like Extinguisher, so yeah. Like every single one, like even Pain Train versus Smee, like didn't end how I thought it would because I don't really see how you could give it to Pain Train, but like even that was a good fight. Like Pain Train seemed like in the fight of it against Slamo, it was very sort of, it felt like very hyperactive. It was very like, right, we got the very, very sort of panicky. This one, like Evan, he said they turned down the speed controls and stuff. He just seemed more controlled, more sort of with it, and like it did do some really good damage to Smee. Like the hit where they took one of the weapons off was a great shot, and even when their actual weapon fell out completely, like it was still a good hit. It was still something great to see. I wouldn't quite have scored it in favour of Pain Train, but yeah, still a good fight. I really like Pain Train. It's probably one of the. I don't think it's. It might make the bracket. If he gets another win, it could probably make the bracket. But I like it. It's one of the robots that, like, it might not win, it probably won't win, but it's just one that I just like. You know, you have those robots where it's just, yeah, you may not do brilliant, or you may not be everyone else's favourite, but I like you. It's good. Yeah, my favourite fight for this episode was originally going to be Valkyrie Rotator, because that was such a display. That's the sort of hit you want. This was as good as Shatter vs. One Who from last season, because Rotator Valkyrie was just two robots that were so equally matched and so powerful against and towards each other that it was just going to be a complete slugfest each and every single way. There wasn't a bad hit in it. Like, both dished out great damage as well. Like, Rotator took off part of Valkyrie's front and one of their wheel guards, I think, and then Valkyrie comes in and takes the entire back wedge off of Rotator in just like a single hit. It was brilliant to see. It was this is why I like sort of undercutters and bar spinners, that sort of thing, because like they hit so differently and they hit so powerfully. You get some beautiful shots, but even just the sparks that were coming off of it was just great to see. It was such a good fight, and I think the fact it went to a judge's decision was even better than it being a knockout, because it's just, you've had the full 3 minutes of such a balanced match. Basically, is a hit from both sides that it really probably could have swung it either way. Valkyrie did win it fair and fair, because I would say they did more damage, obviously, and I say they were a bit more aggressive. Rotator led in a lot with the rear wedge, which is a decent wedge, because it's the same strategy that like Carbide and Cobalt have used, because very similar design, probably the way Rotator came in with one of the bars at the back and the big wedge. The way Carbide would always use the big wedge against large horizontals like that. Similar sort of tactic, and it makes sense why they did that, and it was proved for a good fight. I think if they'd have gone weapon on the whole way, they might have swung it on aggression, but who knows. Still a really good fight. But my actual favourite fight was, of course, Uppercut vs. Sawblaze, the main event. Oh my god, where do you even begin? Like, even just the premise of it, like, as a setup, is really good. The whole student versus master thing is obviously, Alex was previously on Sawblaze's team, and even you could look at the lineage where Jameson's become, because he used to be on the Overhaul team. There's now and then he's now captain of the Sawblaze lot. So there's the progression of that as well, which is really good. Both the robots in this season have been really good. Sawblaze this is their second one. Yeah, their Whiplash one was the first one. But the Whiplash fight was brilliant. That was a great bit of driving and display from both of them. And like Uppercut, obviously Uppercut's first one was against Gemini, which wasn't was never really going to be a challenge for them. Your two middleweights against something as massive as that was never going to be too much of a challenge for them. I've given that they're the only ones to actually knock out Gemini, which is quite amazing. But like the new uppercut looks gorgeous. The bar that they went with for this one looks amazing. I love the sleekness of it. Like the fist is obviously the main one because it's the sort of their shtick and they're designed for it. I can see why they do run it a lot. And like Sawblaze has been strong since like ABC 2, like even in their first, because they had the Razorback one, which was harsh for them. But like all Discovery 3 and 4 they've been formidable opponents like the whole way through. Even the Tombstone fight they had last season was possibly one of their best up until this season because they really could have swung that. Like they were very, and Uppercut were very deserving of making the bracket last season because they go 4-0. I know they had Scorpius, they had Mammoth as one of them. I'm 90% they went 4-0 in that, which or at least 3-1, which is very impressive indeed. Like, it sucks that they got Bite Force because they were never going to win that. But it was still really good to see. And even this fight, it shows how much they've like improved and come on. Because the way Uppercut comes out in the start of the box rush, like they come out with such force. The start of the fight is where it all went wrong for Sawblaze. Like I love them. Jameson's a great driver, but he comes out, goes into the box rush, swings it round for some unknown reason and shows Uppercut their flank. So Uppercut can just come straight in and just sends them flying. That was the only way that was going to go really. And then obviously comes in and bang, then the hit. Like I've never seen an explosion like that. I could feel that through the screen. That was cataclysmic. That was. I'm amazed Sawblaze still even worked after that. That's an entire fuel system that's just gone up in a massive great fireball. And they've just Uppercuts off in the middle of the arena doing break dances or whatever. And the Sawblaze is just, yeah, I'm right. Over we go again. And like they from that they were never going to come back because they just took more and more hits from Uppercut, and the beautiful KO they just sodded them from the side of it and came straight in. Took one of the belts off as well from the weapon, and just did them in completely. I'm amazed because it was brilliant. Because like after the end of the fight, like they obviously cut to the team as they all finish and whatnot. And Alex is just chill as fuck. He just doesn't care. It didn't seem to faze him at all. If that was me, I'd have been screaming at it. Like I've just caused that sort of seismic explosion, and he's just nothing. Just absolutely glazed over. Major props for me because they could do really well this season if they get, because they're so they're 2-0 now. Sawblaze is 1-1. I think another good win for both of them would put them in very decent stead in the bracket. Uppercut could probably easily make top 16 if they get a decent one in the first round. They could do really well. So that's my review of my favourite fight from episode 6 of Battlebots, Uppercut versus Sawblaze. Please leave your comments and stuff down below. What you thought what you thought about this fight, what your favourite fight was. I'm trying to get back on track with them now. It's obviously caught up to episode 6. We've got episode 7 next week. It should be good fun. Social media links will be in the description down below, and I'll see you guys next time.